In a galaxy teeming with countless species and civilizations, there was one universal rule etched into the annals of interstellar law: do not harm human children. For centuries, this directive had been sacrosanct. Humanity, though late to the cosmic stage, had earned its reputation through sheer tenacity, ingenuity, and an almost feral protectiveness over their young. Stories of entire fleets being dismantled by enraged parents or colonies rising up as one against aggressors were legendary across star systems. But today, that unbreakable rule lay shattered. The attack came without warning, a surgical strike. On New Terra, a burgeoning human colony nestled in the outer rim of the Andromeda Quadrant. The Galactic Council's elite enforcers, known as the Aegis Vanguard, descended upon the settlement under the guise of enforcing quarantine protocols. Their true mission, however, became horrifyingly clear when they breached the nursery wards. Within hours, reports flooded the extranet. Dozens of children abducted, their cries echoing across the void. News of the violation spread like wildfire. Back on Earth, humanity's homeworld, outrage erupted. Cities burned with protests, while every media outlet screamed for justice. Leaders from other planets watched nervously as humanity mobilized faster than anyone thought possible. What began as shock quickly turned into something far more dangerous, a unified rage that could ignite war across the stars. At the heart of the storm stood Captain Elias Voss, commander of the SS Resolute, humanity's most advanced battleship. A grizzled, veteran of countless skirmishes, Voss wasn't just fighting for his people, he was fighting for personal vengeance. His niece, Mia, was among the abducted. Her face, pale but defiant in the last transmission before the raid, haunted him day and night. "Why?" he growled during a briefing aboard the Resolute. What could possibly justify breaking the first rule? His crew exchanged uneasy glances. No one dared answer. They all knew what was at stake, not just lives, but the fragile peace that held the galaxy together. Yet no one questioned the necessity of their mission either. If the Council wanted war, then humanity would give them hell. As the Resolute hurtled toward the coordinates where the children were taken, intelligence reports painted a grim picture. The abduction wasn't random. It was part of a larger conspiracy involving rogue factions within the Galactic Council itself. These dissidents viewed humanity as a threat, an unpredictable variable in their carefully orchestrated balance of power. By targeting the most vulnerable members of society, they hoped to weaken humanity's resolve and force submission. "They underestimated us," muttered Lieutenant Kara Novak, the ship's tactical officer, as she reviewed drone footage of the attack. "They think we're still the same soft targets we were centuries ago." Voss clenched his fists. "Then let's remind them why we're feared." The Resolute arrived at the designated location, a derelict space station orbiting a dying star. Once a hub of commerce, it now served as a black site for experiments too unethical even for the Council's standards. As the crew infiltrated the facility, they discovered horrors beyond imagination. Laboratories filled with stolen DNA samples, cloning tanks housing grotesque hybrids, and worst of all, the missing children, wired into machines designed to harvest their neural patterns. Mia was found in one such chamber, her small frame trembling as electrodes pulsed around her head. When Voss reached her, tears streaming down his face, she managed a weak smile. "Uncle, you came." "I'll always come for you," he whispered, cradling her close. But there was no time for reunions. Alarms blared as security forces converged. On their position, the battle that followed was brutal and chaotic, a testament to humanity's refusal to back down. Outnumbered and outgunned, the crew of the Resolute fought with ferocity born of desperation. Every shot fired was a declaration: humanity would not be broken. Back on Earth, the response was swift and decisive. Nations set aside petty squabbles, united by a single purpose. Fleets assembled in record time, armed with weapons decades ahead of anything the Council possessed. Diplomatic channels dissolved overnight, replaced by ultimatums delivered with icy precision. "We want our children back," declared President Elena Torres during an emergency broadcast. Her voice carried the weight of billions. "Return them, unharmed, or prepare for consequences you cannot imagine." The Council scrambled to contain the fallout. Emergency sessions devolved into shouting matches as member species wrestled with the implications of humanity's wrath. Some argued for appeasement, others for preemptive strikes, but deep down, everyone understood humanity wasn't bluffing. When negotiations failed, the galaxy bore witness to humanity's full might. Entire fleets clashed near the edge of Council territory, turning the void into a maelstrom of fire and debris. Despite superior numbers, the Council forces faltered against humanity's relentless tactics. Guerrilla warfare, adaptive AI systems, and sheer determination turned the tide in humanity's favor. Amidst the chaos, Captain Voss led a daring assault on the Council's central citadel. With Mia safely evacuated, he channeled his grief into vengeance. The final confrontation took place in the Grand Chamber, where the Council's leaders cowered behind layers of reinforced glass. Their pleas for mercy fell on deaf ears. "You made your choice," Voss said coldly, leveling his weapon. "Now live with the consequences." In the aftermath, the galaxy entered a new era. The Council was disbanded, its remnants replaced by a coalition that included humanity as an equal partner. The abducted children were returned, scarred but alive, their resilience becoming symbols of hope. Laws protecting minors were rewritten, with humanity's values serving as the foundation. For Captain Voss, the victory was bittersweet. He gazed at Mia, now safe in her mother's arms, and felt a pang of sorrow mixed with pride. Humanity had proven once again that it would stop at nothing to protect its own. And if anyone doubted that truth, they need only remember the first rule and the price of breaking it.